Hello guys, today we will talk about cloud build triggers. So in previous videos we have seen what is cloud build and what a cloud build does. So in this video we'll focus on cloud build triggers. So basically cloud build triggers help us to enable CI/CD automation. So triggers like it will listen for the incoming events. So such as like when we push a commit to our repository or any pull request is initiated or like you push a tag, so what will happen, it will automatically execute a build whenever new events come in. So it will just on the listening mode only, and with the help of that it just trigger a new build. And we can like configure triggers to build code on any changes in the source repository. Like if you push something into your branch, or if you have done created a pull request, so it will automatically build code on that changes. Or even we can create like to match certain criteria, like if this file is changed then only build will trigger, or like if you want to ignore some file we can do that also. And we can connect some external repositories also, like GitHub, Bitbucket, or even we can use cloud source repositories. But in cloud source repositories we cannot use the pull request option because there is nothing like that. So like if you are connecting GitHub or Bitbucket, so we can use pull request option there also. So there are some events which are basically we can use. So we like if there is a push to a branch, someone has pushed some your code to a branch, someone has pushed a new tag, or we have created a new pull request, or we can even run triggers manually also. So you just create a trigger, but you want to run it manually whenever you want. And we can even create triggers on the pub/sub message. So whenever a pub/sub message is published, your trigger will run. And we can create webhook event. So like in GitHub or your Bitbucket, you can create webhook event. So we will see all these events, how these all works, and we will try to do a demo on all of these. So let's start our demo. So I am in my cloud build. So first of all, to create a trigger, you can even first connect your repository from here also. Or while creating trigger, we can connect our repository. We have multiple options like how you want to like do like connect your repositories, and then now you will know that there's multiple like first generation, second generation. So it will support different kind of repositories. You can check out these options according to you, like how you want to connect. So let's go to triggers, and in that only we will connect our repository. So first of all, we'll create a trigger, and so we will start with the manual trigger first. So let's give it as a name manual trigger. After that, so then we have to select the region in which we want to, like in which region we want our trigger must run. So we are in that region our build will must be created. After that, you can get description, you can even attach the text. After that, this is the main thing, which is the section we have to like focus on. So in the events we will going with the first manual invocation. So we have to manually run this trigger. After that, we have to connect our repository. As of now there is no repository has been selected, so I will click on this connect new repository, and I will use my GitHub account. So you can choose all these according to you. Mostly are on premises, so we cannot use that, but now you can like you can choose according to yourself. So I will do continue. After that, you have to authenticate, so you must log in into your GitHub account. My authentication has been done. This is my GitHub account. After that, I have to select that repository. So if your repository are not showing here, you can click on this edit repository on GitHub and select the repository you want to share with the Google Cloud. Or so I am going to with this repository cloud build testing, in which I have my code. After that, I have to just tick it that option and just connect. So it will connect my GitHub with my cloud build with a single repository which I am choosing as of now. So it has attached. After that, I have to choose a revision like which branch or tag. So I am using a branch only. So in the branch I have to give a name, branch name. Like so, if you know, like in GitHub we have main branch, or you can if you are using master branch you can type that also. So I am going with main branch. After that, it will ask for the configuration. So you have three options, like you can use cloud build configuration file, you can use Docker file, or you can use build packs. So build packs in which you have to just give your all the code, and cloud don't have to give any Docker file or anything. Like cloud build will automatically create image for you. I will show you how we can do that. So will go with this cloud build configuration file. After that, it will ask the where the location of that file, this file cloud build. Yeah, we will say that it is inside our repository only. So if even you can provide inline also. Just click in this open editor and you can provide your cloud build file here also. So we will go with the repo only because my file in repository only. After that you can give like substitute the variables, like if you are using some variables like like dollar environment, so you can add variables like dollar environment that and that. So how it so like if it has to find that value, you just pass here also that all the environment which you want to substitute. After that you can, even it require approval, you can just click on it. So whenever this build will trigger, someone like with the access cloud build approval rule will have to approve that build site, like your admin, someone before building the image, like he want to check like you are doing the right thing or not. After that we have the option, like if you want to send your builds to GitHub, you can choose that. Even if you want to trigger a build with some another service account, you can choose that also, otherwise it will use cloud build account. So let's create it. So my manual trigger has been created, you can see. So if I go to my GitHub and I will, so this is my cloud build testing repository. So here I have three files like Docker file. So if we go inside that file, this is my very basic Docker file. I'm just using Alpine image and copy this start.sh and just running this command. After that I have cloud build.yaml. What it is doing, it is using a builder image which is Docker. After that it is just creating my image which is this project ID, and it will automatically be the project ID will change to that project in which I am running my cloud build. This is my kickstart Docker repo, which is I've created an artifact registry, my folder name, or we can say repo name. After this is my image name, and this is the tag. And the dot means like I want to take all the code from this specific folder, or after an auto map substitution true, so it will automatically auto map substitute project ID. After that, I want to push that image into my artifact registry, so I'm using this images, so it will automatically push the image once it has been created. This is my kickstart.sh. It is just simple hello world, a time is this and that. So now this is a manual trigger, so it will not run if we do any changes in my cloud build or this in this file. So we have to run it manually, so just we have to click run and we have to select that branch. Even we can select that commit hash also. We will just click on run trigger, so it will start running. If we go to history, we can check out that also. So we can see it is running. If you go inside it, see that it is running, like it is using building image from Alpine. After that, this is copying this. These are all the steps which you have written there, and it is using build for this image like cloud builders Docker, which we have defined. And after that is just push that image to our artifact registry, which we have given. So if you go to artifact registry also, so this is my folder. You can, if you don't have, you can create this first if you are following. So just create, and this is my image, and this is my multiple versions are available here because I'm just doing testing. So this is the latest version which is just pushed now. So this is very basic one which we have tested right now. It is like manual trigger. Now let's go to create another trigger. Let's create now push to a branch trigger. So we will use name push trigger. So let's give up name push trigger. Region we will let be US central one. Push to a branch, and we will select the same repo. And after that we have the option to give branch name. So I have multiple branch, so I can choose any one branch which I want to use. So let me select this one branch, like Webhook testing branch. After that, now we have option of like if you want to auto detect your cloud build or Docker file, we can choose even this option also. No, and even like cloud build and these three options we have already discussed. So in this one, so like if you have a cloud build.yaml or Docker file, it will detect and run build according to your configuration. So suppose if you have a Docker file or you don't have a cloud build.yaml file, it will create a image from the Docker file and it will push to that container registry. So you have to take care of that. Otherwise, you can use both cloud build.yaml and Docker file and give the instructions according to that. So let me select cloud build configuration. We will check it later on. After that, will have just provided that cloud build file location, and just we will create this trigger. So this trigger has been created. Now we will go to our in this, and we will select our Webhook testing branch, and so we have just used the push to a branch trigger. So if we change anything in this, and just commit. So it will kind of push only, just we are pushing the new changes into inside this branch. We'll just commit changes, update, and just click on commit. So now if we go back to triggers and go to history, we will see that it will automatically see it is already running a new trigger. It is a push trigger. We even can see the trigger name also, and then it will running. So we have discussed in this push trigger, like if you push any changes to your branch, even if you push to main branch also, it will do the same thing. So you have to select which branch you want to use. Now select, let's check another option. So create one more trigger. Now let's create a pull request trigger. Oh, pull request trigger. Okay, in this now select pull request. Select our repository. After that, so we will select that main branch in which we want to create our pull request for the full. After that, we can even control like who can command control. So like we can use this required except for owners or collaborators. So like if you are the owner of that branch, you don't need any, you don't have to like provide this specific GCP run. So whenever you invoke a trigger, you have to in the command first you have to type this GCP run. Otherwise, your pull request trigger will not run. So we can exclude like owners and collaborators. We can make it required or we can make it not required. So what would happen if you make it not required? So anyone having read access, like you have a public repo and anyone create a pull request to a repo, so it will just create trigger and trigger again and again. So make sure what you are doing. So we'll make it required as of now. After that, we will make it auto detected. All this the things we have already, okay, we will use cloud build configuration, not auto detected, and just create it. So first of all, what we will do, we will create a pull request but without that slash gcp run. So we will see what will happen. So now let's do our testing for the pull request trigger. Now let's go back to our GitHub and let's go to invert branch, and here we will edit something in this. So let's update our Docker file, and after that we will create a pull request. So I will just add two lines here, nothing else. Just will commit the changes, and we are committing without that message slash GCP run. So after that, this is done. Now let's go to our code and we will create a pull request. So we will click on compare and create a pull request and invert, I put any name, invert changes or anything, and we will create a pull request. Now we have created a pull request. It is just checking something. We can see it is saying that some checks are failed. So if we go inside these details, and we will see it is saying that it requires a GCP run. So without that, if we go back to triggers also, it will not run our pull request trigger. It is a old trigger, don't give it is a very old one. Even you can set time also 145, right now 148. So it is not in the trigger. So what we can do, we have to provide this slash gcp run into our commit message. So what we can do, we will just come here, click on edit, and just we can provide this option and just save this. After that, we can go back to checks again, and we will rerun the checks. Just click on rerun failed checks. So it will again check whether we have the required GCBN or not. So we can see it is right now running that specific checks. So when it will successful, it will just trigger our cloud build. So we can see we got a tick here. Let's go to cloud build and let's see it will start in a time. So we can see it is already done also at 149. It has ran for the 17 seconds. While it is checking, it is also started running that trigger also. So this is our pull request trigger. So you have to just take care that you just provide this GCP run when you commit your message. After that, now let's do some more thing in this. So let's create one more trigger. This trigger, like let's create a trigger for push a new tag. So like whenever we push a tag, we can invoke our trigger with that also. So we will select this option. After that, select our repository. After that, we can option like what type of tag we can provide. Like we can just go with any tag, but you can use these options like what kind of tag will committed when you want to invoke this trigger. So I will go with any tag as of now. I will just select this only, and after that all things looks good. We got error like this name already existed. Actually, it is push tag trigger. So now let's just create it. So we have created this trigger. Now it will not, we cannot invoke this trigger via this console like with GitHub console. So what we have to do? So most of the thing like we can just clone this repository. So with the help of this, and from there we can just push our tag. So I've already done this. Let me remove this once, and I will get clone. So let's go inside this, and we add the three files. So we'll just add git tag version 1.0. So okay, it is already exit. So let's go with version 2.0. After that, we have to just push this specific tag in our. So we will just this push 2.0. So we have to provide our password and all that. So I will provide my git token and will click on enter. So we can see that new tag has been pushed. So now if we go back to triggers, I think it will automatically start. New trigger will automatically start, and we can see, you can see that it is using a trigger push tag trigger. As soon as we have pushed our tag into our repository, it is just running that. So now let's go back and do one more thing. So now we have done all these three. Manual launcher, let's do the pub sub one. So we will give the pub sub trigger, pub sub trigger. So in PubSub, we have to select this message PubSub. After that, you have to select a topic. So you must have a topic. If you don't know, just you can check out my previous videos. I have shown how to create that specific PubSub topic. It is very easy. You have to just create a topic. Default configuration will also works. Just click on that. After that, we have to select the repository. And again, we want branch, like in which branch will whenever this PubSub topic message are published, so which branch will use to run that our build. So let's select main branch only, and this looks good, all things look good. So just click on create. So what will happen whenever any message will published into your topic, your the build trigger will run. So let's go to PubSub and check. So this is my topic. If you don't know how to create a topic, just click on this and just give a name ID and just click on create. It will create that. So it is very simple, and just we will go inside this topic, and we will go inside the messages, and we will publish a message here. So let's click on publish message. We can cloud build testing. We will just publish and just wait it, and let's go back to triggers and history, and let's see, it will trigger a new build as soon as the message is received by them, and like in our subscription. So you can see now it is using PubSub trigger now. So as soon as we publish the message, it will start a trigger. So that's all. Now let's do one more trigger, which is pending webhook event. So we will give a name webhook trigger. So what will happen? We have two options. Either we can generate a new secret here only, or you can use an existing secret if you have. So I will create a new secret. So let's give a name webhook secret, and it will create a secret for us. So you must enable secret manager API if it is not enabled, and after that we have to select the repository which one we want to use, and this is the branch. I want to use main branch. Again the same, all the things are same, and we will just click on create. So this webhook trigger, we have to go inside that. It will provide us a URI. So we want to use this. So if you provide, click on this show URL preview. So it will give you a preview which you have to use. So this is our preview. So I will just copy it, and now let's go into your repository where it is. Just click on settings, and we will find the option of webhooks. So just click add new webhook, and you have to type that URL, payload URL. After that, it will ask you a secret. For the secret, you have to go to secret manager. This is the secret which we have created. We have a secret. You have to select this and you have to provide the value. To check the value, just click on view secret value and just copy this and go back here, provide your secret value, and it will ask what kind of trigger you want to use. So you can like select, let me select individual. So like we will select like branch or tag creation. Whenever any branch or tag will create, it will just run this trigger. You can check multiple things are there. It will according to use how you want to use Webhook. So our Webhook trigger has been done. So let's create a branch. Let's go back to our code and go to branches and click on new branch. Let's give a name new test branch and it is based on main and click on create new branch. So we can see now as soon as the branch has been created, a webhook trigger will trigger and it will create a run. So we can see it is running for us. Webhook trigger is running. It ran 2 times. We have to we have to check why it ran 2 times, but it is working fine. Just we have, so this is a webhook trigger. You can check it out. You can work on it. So I showed how you can create this webhook trigger basically. So now we have some more options. Let's check that also before we will end this video. After that, you have this option like this invert rejects. So let's check what is this. So like give a name invert rejects trigger. After that, let's put a push to a branch only. After that, select our repository, and in this, if we click on this, so what will happen instead of this main branch, it will work on all the branch. So if you like, you want to make some branch, not build your trigger like data testing branch, and you want to work on testing, and you want that trigger must not invoke on that specific branch, you can just provide that branch name here. So like if I provide here invert branch, so what will happen instead brings that this trigger will never run for this specific branch. You can check out that. After that, we have some included and excluded files. So like if you add some included files, so if you do any changes in the specific included files, then only bigger trigger will run, and there's some ignored files like git ignore. So so many ignored files are there. So if you do any changes in that specific ignored files, trigger will never run. You can check it this out. This is very simple. I don't think we have to, I have to show you this. You can just do testing on your own also. And if you have any question, just comment it down. After that, we have this option like auto detected. So like what will happen if you don't have a, like if you have both files, it will automatically detect the file in the repository and it will run a configuration according to that. So suppose if you don't have a cloudbuild.yaml, it will create an image according to docker file and it will push that image to your container registry. So without, even if you don't have cloudbuild.yaml file, don't have instructions for the image to push, but still it will push. You can check out this option also. So if you want to use inline as of now, if you select this option like cloud build configuration file inline, I have already told to just provide that cloud build YAML file here only directly. After that, we have docker file. So if whenever you select a docker file, you have to provide a docker file name. So like if you have a docker file name, basically use docker file only. After that, it will ask you the image name. You have to provide that image name. It will create an image and it will push to that specific location which you have provided. Let's show the command also. You have check it out. If you are using a private pool, you can use this option and select a private pool if you want to run your Docker configuration inside a private pool. If you don't know about private pool, check out my previous videos. I have showed how to create that. After that, we have build packs. So I can show you build packs how it works. So let's go, let's select a branch in which I have a build configuration. So this is my build pack. So let's select build pack and push to a branch, and after that in build packs we have to select a directory if it is in a similar folder. Let's, we don't need that. This is that image name which it will create it and just look good, and you can use this option also, approval. So let's use this option first, approval. Let's click on create. So in this branch, what will happen if we do any changes in our GitHub, and it will don't run build until we approve that build. So let's go to our build pack. So in build pack, what will happen? We don't have to provide any cloud build.yaml on any like Docker file. It will just check out the code, what it is inside the code. It will sense that what you are using, and according to that, it will build an image for us. So it is very helpful. Like if you don't want to write a Docker file or you don't have time, just do this, and it will work for you. So let's edit this little bit. So let's double triple P, just commit changes, and now what will happen if you go back to our history? There is a trigger waiting for our approval. So again, if you can see, because of that push trigger, it is just running that webhook trigger. That's the we can remove that specific option from the webhook. So now let's go inside this, and we have the option to reject, approve, or anything we want. Just let's approve this and click on approve. If you even reject or cancel, there is option to retry. So you can even rerun the same trigger once it is like deleted or anything happen. So now it will run and it will create an image based on that the configuration we have provided. And, and there are some more things which we can check it out. After that, we have done most of the things in this, and approval part, service account you can provide if you have. All that we have done now. So if you have any question, just ping on any of these options if you are facing anything. Now, one more thing, like if you have a manual trigger, you can even schedule the trigger to run automatically. So if this is my like manual trigger, we have to go here and run on schedule. So it will ask you to enable like schedule API. If it is not able, just enable it, and it will ask you the frequency when you want to run it. So like it is right now 1405. So I have not done this. Let's try. Uh, So first of all, let's select the time zone. So I am in India. After that, this is my time zone. I have after that you have to provide us, you can say like 0 minutes, like at what minute. So let's select 10 minutes. After that it will ask the hour. So hour is like 14, which is 2. After that day, today is 17. After that month, today is like 11th. And after that, like which days, like make it 0 to 6, so all days. So it is saying that at 2:10 it will run this trigger, so make it more early, like make it 8 only. At 2:08 it will run this trigger, and day means it to 17 of any month, and like Saturday to Sunday, and month equals to November, all that. And just configure it, give a name, and let's click on continue, and you have to select a service account. So let me select my default and just click on create. So after 2 minutes we can check that this trigger will automatically run. So, and if we check out this build pack trigger, this is the build pack which we have done. It has, you can see that it has done all the things, and it has created an image and it will push that image. So this is the image it has created, and it has pushed into our GCRIO, and this is the name and all that it has provided for us. So let's wait for that our scheduler to run a build at 1408. So it is now 1408. You can see that trigger is already running. We are not done anything. So it is like manual, that like automatic like scheduler. You can schedule your triggers. After that, you have multiple options, like in settings you can enable all these. So if you want to deploy from your cloud build, users can enable all these so that it can work. After that, triggers we have done, repositories you have connected from here. If you click on repos, you have multiple options like to connect. Like now it has second generation also, but it is a little bit advanced. In history we can check all the triggers. In dashboard, which is show all the things what has been done. And in the settings, even if you want to create like your private pools, you can create from here also. I have shown that how to do that. So if you have any questions to anything, or you have any suggestions, or you think I have done something wrong, just comment it down. I can work on it. Okay, thank you.